Hey, everybody. Ron Harris here for the Ronline Report with someone I talk to all the time, but I never thought I was going to have to talk to him in this capacity about this type of situation. Joining us now, not from the United Kingdom, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Ireland is not part of the UK. Am I right?
No,
He's in a completely different country, Ireland. Please welcome Giles Tiger Thomas from his hospital bed in Ireland. Are you in
I'm
Dublin?
not at Tiger Towers today, mate.
Were you in Limerick, Dublin? Where are you?
I'm in Limerick University General Hospital. So
Okay, so yeah, I'm at the Indy Pro, and I get this message, and I could not believe it. Could not believe it. Giles had a heart attack. You got to be, you know, you got to be kidding me. But wow, you know, I need you to walk me through this because you were there to do your first hosting gig for an IFBB Pro League show. I was very excited for you. I know you were very excited, pumped up for it, and I think this happened right before you were about to start. Tell us all exactly how this went down, Giles, please.
right. Well, I'll tell you what happened. We're at the venue, and it was a beautiful venue. It was at the University Concert Hall, really nice. And I was told to be there for like 9 o'clock, so we got there. And my blood sugar had been good for weeks, and then it went a little bit high while I was there because it was food facilities weren't that great where we were. And everything.
Just everyone doesn't know that Giles is a type 2 diabetic, correct?
Yeah, in between 1 and 2 apparently.
You're 1.5 diabetic. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's true. Yeah. So anyway, and it turned out that I wasn't on until the finals. So and Lauren said to Tarek and Tamer at Windy, said, look, because I'd really love to judge. And they said, well, look, you have to go through a procedure and all that. So Tarek says, guys, he says, come over and sit on the table. We'll give you some sheets, and we won't count your scores. But what we can do is you can just, we can have some fun, and we'll check your scores, and we'll check, against ours. Because obviously we're Olympia judges. Yeah. So for the pre-judging, we just sat there, kind of, And one thing I've learned, I'm a terrible judge.
What? No, you're not.
Seriously, because I'm really strict. Like there was a guy that, I won't mention his name, but he's one of the competitors, and he won one of his classes. And when he did rear bicep, it was all, there was no 3 heads. It was just the one single head. So I kind of marked him down, but he ended up winning. Anyway.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So he had a bunch of oil in his shoulders or something?
Yeah, and from the front, he looked incredible. But I was like,
you're a bad judge for marking him down for that? I think you're a good judge for marking him down for that.
Oh, stop. so anyway, so we did that anyway, and then obviously it was ready for the I think the final started at 4. And I wasn't nervous or anything. I was feeling fine, but I was struggling to get some food beforehand. And I was starting to panic that I couldn't get any food because I didn't want to be up there flagging, if I've got no food in me, being diabetic, I've got to eat properly, So we managed to get like this, they call it Deliveroo, where like a delivery thing. And I got a Thai red.
That's DoorDash here in the US.
Yeah, I got like a Thai red curry. Like sticky rice is not good for me, but I thought, do you know what? It's the cleanest thing I can get. And I literally just wolfed it down and then walked into the venue. And yeah, so we started like MCing and everything started. Tarek and Tamer started, and it was all going. I was just trying to find my rhythm, because I hadn't done it since I did MC a couple of shows non-pro league in 2019 to kind of get the practice. Yeah. And so basically I was up there and I was a bit fidgety. I was thinking, well, maybe I am nervous. Maybe because I didn't feel nervous. I was on my nice Irish green suit and everything, and I was tied up. And I thought, okay, it's not it's not an intense show. It's not a huge show. So this is within my capabilities. I'm used to this. And then I kept fidgeting, and I was like, what's wrong with me, Mum? So I was fiddling with the mic a lot, which I do in Global Muscle. So anyway, then about 15 minutes in, I started to not feel so good. And I could feel, and I thought, okay, that's the food. And I could feel my blood sugar flying up because my heart started skipping beats. That's what happens when it goes above 10 mmol. I get heart palpitations. That's why I'm really on it with my blood sugar. And I thought, oh no, here we go. I could feel it. I could feel the hot feeling coming up. And then within space of 5 minutes, I came behind this. I stepped back from the plinth and I said, I don't feel so good. And then, like I said, it's a bit hazy actually. And then literally the next thing was Brian comes and says, you okay? I said, mate, can you just take over? And then I just ran through the backstage area. And I just ran outside, and there were some wooden pallets, and I literally threw myself on there, sat up, and I was just clutching my head. And my heart was just jumping all over the place. And that's when the pain started. I mean, it wasn't in my arm, like, you know, like the left arm or the right or left arm.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything like that. I felt nothing like that, but it was just intense pain in my chest. And I thought, so, and then I just remember because I had my eyes shut the whole time because I was just trying to block everything out. A couple of times I opened my eyes and Tamer was like, literally, just everyone get back. Because people were like, what's going on? There was a couple of, I opened my eyes. There was one guy stood in his trunks all tanned up and said he was a doctor. And I said, I need insulin because I thought maybe it's just some sort of insulin shock thing. Yeah. So my fast acting pen wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. It wasn't pushing. So I said, get me insulin. So they must have shouted they must have said over the mic, said, has anyone in the building got some insulin? So I did. I just banged in 8 IU. Then I put another 4 IU in, which is a lot for me. And I thought, and then the manageress was like, okay, don't worry. I'm a trained, medic or whatever. Your blood sugar's going to come down. And I was like, because the pain was just getting so intense. And Lauren was there, sort of trying to keep me calm. And then I started to feel sick. And then the pain was just getting worse and worse and worse. Then Lauren took the jacket off. And it was like somebody I'd just jumped in a swimming pool. I mean, I was just drenched in sweat. And then within a few minutes, Tamer was like, we need an ambulance quick. So they called the ambulance and it was about 20, 25 minutes. And I was really, really starting to struggle. I was in a lot of pain, And they kept saying, the ambulance is coming. There was people just trying to keep me calm, And I was thinking, oh, please insulin kick in, please kick in. Because I thought it was some sort of blood sugar thing. Because I've never had this before. I've never had chest pains, nothing. Yeah. So anyway, the ambulance came and they said, do you want a stretcher? And I said, I said, no, I'll walk. I'm fine. So I literally had my eyes shut. And I just walked into the ambulance and I threw myself in the bed and I just kept my eyes shut. And then I started it wasn't shaking, it was like convulsing. And my teeth were chattering. They were either drifted because it was just so fucking painful. I mean, I've never felt pain like that in my life. It was all through my jaw, right through my teeth. It was on my head, at the back of my neck, my chest, my shoulders, my back. Yeah. And it was like literally it was like I was set on fire,
Well, hold on a second. So the ambulance got there, and you call them paramedics, medics, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Don't they examine you? Give you at least a cursory examination, check the blood pressure, listen to your heart? I thought they did that immediately with everybody.
They wanted to get me to the hospital as quickly as possible. They said, "Oh, tell me, Giles. Okay, then Giles, tell me." It's funny because one of the guys said. He said, I thought we were picking up one of the guys in Speedos. Because obviously I'm there in a full suit and tie, like my nice shoes and everything. And and they were like, okay, so tell us what's happened. And I was like, give me some pain relief, give me something. And they gave me this spray that you put under your tongue that dilates the airways. I put some here, not DMT, GTM or something. And it gave me a little bit of relief for a few minutes. And then it came back and then they gave me another one. And I was I could hear Lauren, sort of trying to keep me calm and everything. So they got me into A&E, and I was just, my eyes were shut like that. And then one of the ladies there, she says, look, Giles, she goes, the good news is you haven't had a heart attack. And I was like, okay. And she says, look, we're going to take some blood. So they took some blood. And do you know what troponin levels are?
No, I mean, you sent me, I know that the levels that these go on. I had no idea, but educate me.
Well, basically, when you've had a heart attack, they test your blood, the troponin levels will tell you whether you've had a heart attack. Yeah. Now, your normal levels, like now, you'd be around. They said it's about 16. So the first blood they took, it came back at 216. Then they took it an hour later, and it was up at 256. And they actually took one that Sunday night, and it was 2,570. Wow. It was a pretty major heart attack. So and anyway, they took some more blood, and then the nurse the female doctor comes over and she sits on the bed and she says, look, before that, I said, can you give me something for the pain? I said, I'm in a lot of pain. So they just gave me some chewable aspirin. And then they kind of just left me in this hallway. And I was just lying there. And then all of a sudden, the weirdest thing happened. I felt completely fine. Goodness. In the space of 15 minutes of being in absolute agony, and I'm basically there in my suit, and I'm in A&E, and those people were bleeding heads and throwing up, and and all these people screaming out, and it was complete drama. And there's me in a suit lying there thinking, I feel really silly now. I feel like that maybe was just a blood sugar thing. So anyway, then the doctor calls me in, pulls the curtain, and she says, "Giles, can you take me through it?" So I told her exactly what happened. And then she says, "Well, to be honest, Giles, when do you fly back?" And I said, "Well, I'm flying back tomorrow." She says, "No, you're gonna have to stay in for a few days." She says, "What you said about the pain through the jaw and everything," she says, "that does sound like a heart attack." And I was like, "No, no." So anyway, she came to see me a few minutes later. She checked the second blood results, and she says, "Look, your troponin levels are elevated. You've had a heart attack." And I was like, "Fuck!" And I went, "Fuck!" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "I'm so sorry." She says, "No, that's typically the usual response we get." Because obviously the doctors are looking at me and I'm thinking, and they kept asking me all the standard questions. "Do you smoke?" "No." "Have you ever smoked?" "No." And I told them my lifestyle, and they're like, "This guy does not fit the bill." So anyway, they took me up to the cardiac unit where I'm here now. I'm in this room by myself. I've also tested positive for weak flu.
Flu?
Yeah, I mean, I feel absolutely fine. I've got no flu-like symptoms. They've tested me for COVID, no COVID. Okay. So I'm in isolation technically now. So anyway, so they put me up here, and then that night I was in a lot of pain, a lot of chest pain. And I was just on my phone in my room, literally just responding to people till about 3 a.m. Got about 2 hours sleep. And then after about a day and a half, the pain started to go, and the heart arrhythmia, the skipping the beats, because like I'm all completely wired up here. I mean, I'm literally, I've got all the pads and everything on here. And I think the things are awesome. My blood sugars with the trauma and the physical and mental or whatever like that, my blood sugar is really elevated. So they're literally giving me insulin as if I'm type 1 at the moment.
Wow.
I think it's because I'm inactive.
I don't want to speak disparagingly about the medical staff there, but it seems like they should have diagnosed a heart attack much sooner than they did. It seems like the diagnosis shouldn't have been so dragged out the way it was. Just my...
I mean, they didn't have any blood results. They were just going upon how I looked and everything. So when they got the first blood test results, and then they did another one, she told me straight away, she said, "Yes, you've had a heart attack." And I was like, "What?" So anyway, they said, "Right, in the morning, you've got priority. Going to be about 9 a.m. We're going to take you down." And because this arm's completely, it's pretty weak, because what they do is they put a wire through the wrist, and then it goes all the way up. And then what they do is they put the dye in the heart, and then they get a reading to see what's going on and what's happened, whether I need stents, whether I need, you know what I mean? So anyway.
An angiogram, I think that's called.
Angiogram, yeah. So, and I was thinking, I hope it's just something minor, So it really wasn't. So they said, "Look, you've got severe blockages, which is above 80%.
Wow.
Into and then the doc basically they explained to me. They said, "Look, your heart has probably been operating at 30 to 40% for a number of years."
Wow.
So think about it. I do cardio every day, fasted. I do weight training hard 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm very busy. I work a lot. I love what I do. But I've not had, they said, "How have you not had any symptoms, tight chest?" I said, "Nothing. I've had nothing." I said, since I started back training 9 weeks ago, I said, my blood sugar has been perfect. I check it 4 or 5 times a day. I said, I've been absolutely fine. I said, I feel great. My energy levels are high. And he was like, "But your heart has been working at, my heart probably a third to a half of what it should be, like operating at. But my body's just adapted."
Wow.
I train hard. I've been training really hard, mate.
I've talked to people who have had, diminished function in the heart, and fatigue was the number one thing that they say is a symptom for that. You haven't really been experiencing that all this time?
No, wow. I pretty much work 7 days a week, I pretty much, like some nights, I have to pull Lauren out of the office at like 10 p.m. We're lucky if we get, I feel great. I just, so, and of course I've had no blood test from the 6-month diabetic because of COVID. I was supposed to have one a few weeks ago, and in the morning they sent a text to say it's been cancelled. So this probably would have flagged up,
Have you had, we talked about the coronary calcium score. Have you had that done the past couple of years at any point?
No, I've had nothing in the last couple of years because of COVID.
Okay. Wow. I just wonder if it would have been, if you'd had these things as normally scheduled without COVID stopping them. I wonder if this would have been discovered and possibly addressed before it led to this. I'm just speculating. It's all speculation now, of course. Yeah. So where are you now? What's this is what everyone, everyone's been inquiring, and how's Giles? What are they going to do for Giles? When's he coming home? So tell us what's next.
Well, this is where I kind of, it got serious for me, because I mean, it's. I'll be honest, I'm scared shitless about the operation, but I've got to have a full bypass. So they're going to literally crack me open. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a through the leg job or through the arm and simple. I've got to really. It's scary. I mean, they've got to take a vein from the leg and create they've explained it to me, and that, to be honest, that was one of the hardest things I had to kind of take on board, because I've been okay. I've been quite sort of. I had a bit of a down period today for a little bit, and I did like half an hour last night. But overall, I've been kind of just doing what I need to do, taking my medication. And so I'm in Limerick Hospital at the moment. And they're just waiting to get me an appointment with a surgeon in Dublin, which is about 2 hours drive in an ambulance. So as soon as we get that, they're going to take me there, and I'm going to be operated on. So, and then I'm going to be unconscious for 2 days. It's kind of like an induced coma. Yes. In intensive care. I'm going to have tubes in my bloody lungs and, bladder everywhere. I'm going to be I think for about 2 days, I'm going to be out cold. So, and obviously when I wake up, it's going to be very distressing. So. Sure.
So this is open heart surgery is it a triple bypass you're possibly looking at?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, God willing, everything goes okay. And that opens up all the things that need to be opened up, so there's no more blockage and everything can flow and beat the way it's supposed to. I feel awful. I feel awful anyway, but you've had a rough year. You lost your mom not even a year ago. Was it like last summer?
It was last April.
Last April, and your dad, you just brought him home a few months ago from Cyprus back to UK because his health had taken some turns, and now you're going through. So they say bad things happen in threes. So hopefully this is the last thing, if you want to look at it that way. But I'm really hoping that the fact that you do take care of yourself so well, you eat very well, you exercise religiously. You're an excellent candidate for success versus maybe some 50-year-old guy who's got a big fat gut and he smokes and he drinks and has never seen a gym in his life.
They told me, they said, Giles, you don't fit the bill. We're really confused. Sat here with my top off, and I got abs, and they're like, we don't get this. Why? And they're saying, have you got any hereditary diabetes? I'm like, nothing. And they're like, okay. My family's going to be watching this, and I probably don't want to talk about it right now. But that when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I was a complete fucking maniac. Do you know what I mean? With my lifestyle. Yeah. But thankfully I really did pull myself away from that. And I put it on the forum, and Betty Ona said, Jesus Christ, Giles, you're basically a survivor. But obviously, there's obviously been some damage there. And I think it is more or less like people were saying, I've met people messaging me saying, sue them about the vaccine. It's like, look, if you knew my lifestyle in the 20s and 30s, and also the fact I'm diabetic, even though I manage it very well, these are why these things have happened. You can't just pin it on something like that. That's not how this works. This isn't a simple, and this, like I said, because of COVID, I probably could have detected this a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So,
everybody, when something like this happens, everyone's looking for a reason, because we're all afraid it's going to happen. Everyone's afraid it's going to happen, especially if you're over 40. If you're my age, especially, you're like, oh my God. So you're looking for a reason, like, well, this guy did steroids, he did a lot of recreational drugs, or he got the vaccine, or he got 3 booster shots after the vaccine, so that's why it happened to him. But I don't think it's that easy. People would like to simplify it that way, but it's not.
It's really not. So it's nothing to do with that. I don't have one second. I had just started on back a little bit of gear, because I'd be back training 9 weeks. Because from August to February, I think I trained 3 or 4 times. I wanted to, because I was so stressed about my dad, because he's been back in hospital since January. He's still there now. He's been in 4 different hospitals, and it's just gone from bad to worse with him. I've been doing a 600-mile round trip every week pretty much for the last 4 or 5 weeks to go and see him. And 3 of those times he didn't even know I was there. You know, I'm just there for my stepmom and I want to just be there. And if he is lucid, I want to make sure he knows I'm there. And he did on one occasion, but he just whispered, like, I love you, son. You know, it was, you know, I just, so, what was I going to say? So the thing at the moment is just, I've got to get past the surgery and hopefully there's no complications.
Yeah.
And then I just want to get home. I mean, they said like, you're looking at minimum 3-month recovery, you know, and that's to be 100%. You know, I mean, he said if you were like in your 60s or whatever, he said you're looking at 6 months. And but somebody said like, look, you could be out of the hospital within 5 to 7 days. I mean, if I could get out within a week, I'd be over the moon. But I'm not going to push it because obviously I'm going to have a really big scar down my. You know, I mean, it's about as major surgery you can get. And I know they do it a lot. It's very common, but. You know, but I mean, like yesterday, I went down because they want to test they did like an ultrasound thing on your neck to make sure that the arteries in your neck are giving enough oxygen to your blood to your head. Because if you go into the operation and there's not, you could end up brain damaged. You know, or something could go wrong. So they tested it, and she said, "I said, is everything okay?" She says, "Everything's fine." She said, "It looks good." She said, "The fact that you actually walked in here and you're not short of breath and you feel good," she said, "that's a huge deal." She said, "Most of the people we get in here, they're wheeled in." And they are, and I'm just absolutely, I'm like normal, you know. She says, and the fact your age and you look after yourself, she says that is a huge factor with this. So yeah. So I just hope I get through that surgery okay, you know, because you know Lauren's here, you know, supporting me. She's been absolutely incredible. You know, she's here 12 hours a day looking after me. She's cooking food for me. She's staying with. Also, I want to say a big thank you to Brian Bullman, and Mick Bullman, his dad, because Lauren's now staying with them. Also to Terek and Tamer, because they paid Lauren's hotel for a few extra days.
Cool.
And they've really been. I mean, honestly, I've been absolutely overwhelmed. I'm spending hours a day responding to people. I mean, literally, I'm responding to every single person that DMs. And do you know what? Do you know the funny thing? Probably about 30% of the people that are messaging me, I've never spoke to before in my life.
Yeah. I mean, well, you don't realize the reach you had, the impact you've had. You know, you've been part of this industry for 30 years now, since you were 27. It's almost 3 decades. You know, you put out a lot of goodwill. You've been so supportive of so many athletes, promoters. You know, it's karma that you put out a lot of positive energy and done so much. You know, you have no idea how many people around the world care about you and are very concerned for you right now and are really pulling for you, praying for you, thinking of you. You know, it's a cool thing. And you know, what do we learn from this? What do we take away from this? Because everything has to have some sort of silver lining. It has to.
Well, I think the thing I've learned from this, because I've been finding out, I won't mention names, but I've been finding out that certain athletes, I'll just leave it to that, have had these issues and they've not spoken about it. So that is really been a big shock to me. And I'm thinking, and some of these people have carried on competing, which I think is complete madness. So, you know, they've had heart attacks or these kinds of issues or pacemakers, and then they're still carrying on competing. And I just think that is not cool. So I think the one thing I've learned is blood work alone is not enough. I think proper chest x-rays, you know, see a cardiologist once a year, twice a year, you know, get your heart checked out, because like my heart is severely blocked and I had no idea. You know, I was living a very, very active, normal life, exercising 12 times a week, you know, 7 cardio pretty much, 5 times weights, working all the time, traveling, doing, you know, organizing Olympia tours, doing all the shows, editing, filming, writing, all the different things I do. Me and Lauren traveling off doing live stream. We've got busy lives, and I'm fit, you know, I've got nothing impeding me. So if I've been operating like that with potentially a heart that's been working at 30%, could you imagine what I'd be like at 100? I mean, but it actually is something really, but seriously, it's like, I'm going to be like, I keep saying, I'm going to hashtag Turbo Tiger.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, if I do get through it, which I'm sure I will, it's like, I'm going to come back like fucking, I mean, like I've never been before. It was like when I found out I was diabetic. I think I had been diabetic for a number of years because I used to get a lot of fatigue and a lot of tiredness. And then when I found out I was diabetic and I was monitoring it, I felt better at, what was it? What age was I? 9 years ago, 36. So I had more energy at 36 than I did at 26. So finding that out enabled me to take action to really start to feel amazing. So when this goes well, which, it has to, it's like, it has to go well or I'm fucked. So, it's going to be a new lease on life for me. So, but I just think, especially with, a lot of the situations with deaths and health issues in the industry, I think we need to really look. I think I might do something on my own YouTube channel, maybe just separate, just to maybe chart my progress and my journey and talk about it in the studio and bring some stuff up and basically report what happened to me, and really, because I really want it to help other people, mate, because it's like this, like I said, this is not, I don't think this is even bad. Like, I think a lot of this possibly is sort of self-induced, with a lot of the lifestyle I had, because, mate, I was totally burning the candle at both ends in my 20s and 30s. I was competing non-stop. I was taking gear. I was doing, my social life and stuff like that. I mean, thank God, I don't mean it stopped a long time ago. But, and I lead a very kind of healthy life now. But my God, I could have, if I'd have carried on, I'd have been dead 10, 15 years ago, so.
Yeah, you know what? Don't just I'm glad you're going to do that for your channel, but tack it on to when you get to global. I think that'd be interesting. Hot news is great. I love hot news, but Tiger updates or health something like that. Even after that, why not? Just because you need to reach. This needs to go out to as many people as possible, because there's a lot of us out here. We're ticking time bombs and we don't even know it.
Mate. I mean, look, and I'm not 300 pounds, mate. I mean, somebody said that in one of the comments. Said, look, anyone can get a heart attack. It's not the 300 pound steroid takers. It's the gearheads. It's the guys. And also, I've always been dead against certain compounds being used, DNP, EPO. I hate insulin. I'm even diabetic. I fucking hate this shit. I fucking hate it. But like there's certain things like, like really like Lasix and all these injectable things, and, these really, sight enhancement oil is the worst thing I've never used it. I'm not saying that, but it's one thing I just think has no place in the industry. And I think maybe they could even start marking people down for it. Like, like I did with that guy on my test. It wasn't even a test sheet. It was just me having a bit of fun, just to sort of, so they could check the scores afterwards, Yeah. So,
there's, just to put it out there, these sight enhancement oils, a lot of people who've died young of kidney failure were abusers of sight enhancement oils. So there hasn't been enough testing, and there hasn't been enough people that have passed away to really, for the medical community, to make this link. But I've seen it already. So, in kidney damage, kidney failure, horrible way to die. I've seen people pass away from kidney failure. It's an awful way to go.
If it gets into the bloodstream and hits the heart, that's it. You're done for. It's and I just think, like I said, I'm going to find a way to kind of make other people benefit from my full recovery. You know what I mean? So I'd like that. I think that would be something else I could contribute to the industry, because me, I'm all about making a valuable contribution, because I love what I do. I love my work. I love everything, the enthusiasm. I mean, you think about how enthusiastic I am and everything, my energy. Yeah. And that's for someone whose heart is working at a third. Can you imagine what I'm going to be like? I'll be like Zeb, I'll be like Tigger. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
you might have to slow down all your videos.
Yeah.
Just to be able to understand you.
And also, like, I've got the studio in the house, and as soon as I'm sort of physically, like got the energy, I want to start filming again. I'm not looking to be out, because I'm a very, very productive. I'm obsessed with being productive, and I love what I do. I get a lot out of it, and I find it very fulfilling and rewarding. And like I said, I don't have to travel anywhere. I can do it in the house. And also, I'll probably do a bit more. I'll take a bit more of the writing off you as well for the magazine as well, mate, because that will be really, I'd really, really benefit from that, because I'm not the sort of person that can sit around watching TV. I'm not that sort. I'm not built that way. So,
I love when you contribute to the print magazine, because I get tired of reading my own voice over and over again. You have a completely different style, and you have a great sense of humor, and your historical. My God, the memory you have for contest placings and things like that, it's astonishing. Like somebody challenged me to show recently, and I said, I'm not Giles. Giles could tell you top 5 from the Dutch Grand Prix 1994 or something, but I'm lucky if I can remember the Olympia winners of every year. That's about it. Yeah, you've got a gift. I mean, you are, I'd say the 2 top historians today are yourself and John Hansen in the sport.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who else?
I respect John.
Can you think of anybody that's at that level of knows all these, can really rattle off the champions and the contests and things like that, going back as far? I can't.
I'm bodybuilding's Rain Man.
Well, we need that because when someone like your dear friend, our colleague Peter McGuff passed away, we needed someone to sort of carry on that tradition, and you really did pick it up in a lot of ways where he left off.
Also, I really do want to thank everyone that has reached out. I mean, like I truly didn't expect it. Messages are still coming in because some people are just still finding out, Yeah. I mean, but did you know the 2 that really stood out for me is Ronnie Coleman. I think Ronnie was one of the first messages I got, and it wasn't just one message. He's messaged me again and again and again, and because I think he's been through hell for years, and Ronnie's words do have a real effect on me. Even like years ago, Ronnie always seems to message at the right time, and he knows what the right words to say, And obviously, because I do the show with him, and obviously we've got to, have a work for him and everything. We've got a bit of a friendship and a connection there, And also the other one, who I've only ever got to know very recently, was Umon Eaton.
Oh wow, Umon.
Yeah, I never spoke to him before I had him on Global, and he said, Giles, I'm sorry, brother. He says, I'm annoying you. He says, with all these messages. he said, just say, brother. I said, no, I'm really, because honestly, especially the first couple of days, I was really, that, to be honest, mate, that wasn't just painful. That was terrifying because it's the uncertainty. I didn't know what was happening because I did say when I was at this, I think I'm having a heart attack. But I didn't feel the arm thing. I was like, but I thought it was just connected to my blood sugar.
Right.
I didn't know what was happening. It's the fear of what the hell is happening to my body? Have I just completely lost control here? I just didn't know what it was. Yeah. And then obviously finding out, and then them coming in and telling you, like, look, you've had a fucking big heart attack, and you've got like a bit of damage on your heart. You've got blockages. I'm like, what? And you can't be in denial about these things. You've got to put in your big boy pants. Do you know what I mean? And like I've been very, very honest with, like when I'm feeling low, I kind of just say it. When I'm feeling good, I don't fake it. I don't fake how I'm feeling. I don't say, yes, I'm fine. And I want to jump out the window. I just, I've been very, and Lauren's been just unbelievable. I mean, I am so lucky. She's just amazing. And I love her so much.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can be by your side when the sun is shining and, everything's going hunky dory. But someone who's there when you're down at your lowest, at your weakest point, that's a keeper right there. That's a keeper.
I tell you what, I'm just glad this didn't happen 3-4 years ago because I kind of hit a bit of a mental, well, I won't call it a breakdown, but the end of 2018. It was after episode 4 of Global Muscle. We just interviewed Tony Freeman, and I had a kind of like a bit of a meltdown. And it was, for me, it was like that kind of mental rock bottom thing. And then I started to change a few things in my life. And it was kind of like a steady rise back. But I think if this had happened then, especially with my dad, and my mum passing away from cancer, I mean, that from start to finish was 8 weeks, from getting the call that she'd fallen to losing it 8 weeks later. The week of my mum's funeral, we realized that something was really not right with Dad because he didn't ring us the week of my mum's funeral. And I was like, what the fuck? Me and my 2 sisters were furious. We were really pissed off. Yeah. And then we got on the phone to Dad one day, and he called Lauren, my ex-girlfriend's name. And I was like, red flag. So, but my point is, yeah, awkward. But the point is, like, if this had happened 3-4 years ago, my resilience, I don't know whether I'd be, like this now, feeling like this. I'm at a point of resilience and kind of strength in myself that I feel like no matter what happens, whether this goes well or whether the worst happens, I just feel ready. I mean, I'll probably lose my shit right before the operation, because that is a really big op. But I just got to take it as it comes. But I can't get away from this. I can't say, like, I can't get up and just walk out and pretend this is not happening, because this is going to affect my life. And I have to do this to get a much better quality of life, which I thought I already had. So right. I've got to just focus on the positives. And I'm just trying to be as polite and civil as I can to everyone. And I'm just trying to keep myself in a good routine. Like, I'm making sure I've got good sleep patterns. I'm eating 4 times a day. I'm staying on top of my blood sugar. And I'm just trying to really keep myself, I have a shower in the morning. I'm fine, and I'm trying to just be good with Lauren, and, because she's very, very caring, and I just have to be very honest with my feelings, because if I don't, I don't want to make a bad situation even worse from my behavior. I want to be looking this logically and like, okay, we've got a bit of a speed bump here to come, but we've got to get over it, and we've got to look at the long game, because otherwise I could drop dead in 6 months. Do you know what I mean? And I don't really want to do that.
No.
I mean, so
two huge positives in this is you're here, we're talking, you're alive. I mean, heart attack is still, there's a lot of ways that we can lose our lives, but heart disease is still by far number one cause of death for men all the world over. So number one, you're here. Number two, you were operating for years at 30 to 40% heart function. Didn't know it. This is a chance to get, do they give you any estimates as to what your function could be after this is successful?
100.
Oh, 100.
100.
I mean, there you go. Yeah. So, you've been doing all that with about a third to a half function of your heart. Can you just imagine what life will be like in general? Everything, your work life, your relationships, your workouts. I mean, I'm an idiot. That's the thing I would think about.
Like, I don't get for many years, I haven't had very good pumps. I don't get crazy pumps anymore. And I used to think, when I was younger, I used to get really intense pumps. And it's really like, just little things are popping up into my head, But I mean, like, I don't know whether you can see the monitor up there. Like, they check for everything. And my oxygen, like, I'm not on oxygen. My oxygen levels are at 100. Pretty much on the machine, when they test it, I'm either between 95 and 100. So my oxygen levels are good. Like I said, I've got, my cholesterol needs. They're going to put me on the bad cholesterol is too high, really too high. So that needs to come down, which I can sort with medication.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of trying to focus on being excited on how I will feel when like I said, when I found out I was diabetic, I felt like a new man. I remember when I first got diagnosed, I fell down the stairs because my legs were so weak. And as soon as I saw the specialist and they gave me some insulin, I think I put on 4 or 5 kilos in 1 week, and I was squatting 2 plates. 1 week later, I was squatting 100 kilos for reps easily, So like the body is, they said the body's an amazing thing, the way it can adapt, And I think it's a testament as well to, I do eat well, I do manage my blood sugar, I do cardio every morning, and I have a relatively low stress. I've got a very good life. I mean, I've got a beautiful home and a beautiful girlfriend. I love working for MD and with Ronnie and everyone, and doing the tours and, like I said, the live stream and writing. I mean, I'm living, as far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of living the kind of life, the dream, really. No, it is. I'm literally living the life that I worked towards over this last 27 years, when I started in Wales working for British magazines, and I worked my way up all over those years and just kept pushing, getting knockbacks. But I just kept going. 2008, I went kind of European, and then 2010, I went kind of international, and it's kind of just been exponential ever since. So it's like, I consider myself extreme. Like, I put a post up about 3 weeks ago, and there's a picture of my garden, and I just said about my morning routine. And it sounded probably a bit fake. Like, I read it today, and it sounded a bit fake and cheesy, but it was from the heart. But it was 100% genuine. Like, I have gratitude for the life I have, and I walk around my coffee, and I talk to my cats, and I feel very, very fortunate for the life I have. So I kind of, that's it really, mate. I mean, I can't really think of anything else to say, really.
Well, I mean, you've said it all. You put it so well, and you're seeing all the positives in this instead of sitting here crying, why me, why, which is
Well, you should have seen me 2 hours ago.
I mean, I wouldn't fault you for that. I wouldn't fault you 1 minute because it's terrifying. I can only imagine, the terror of knowing this happened to me and this is what they're going to need to do to me to make it better, and but by the grace of God, here you are, and we're all pulling for you, Giles. You have so many people who really care about you. You've never even, some of them you've met like me and Jen, everyone, D, but a lot of people around the world that you don't know the impact you've had. They've been watching you and reading you for years and years, and they feel like they know you. They feel like you're a friend. So they're pulling for their friend to get through this. So we all are, Giles. There's a lot of us out here who really wish you the very best. We love you. We care about you, and we want everything to go perfectly for you in this challenging time you're going through right now. But you're going to get through it. You're going to be better than ever, and what a story, what a tale you'll have to tell from now on, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, and you know what, when people do message me, whether I know them or I don't know them, like, if I'm in a little bit of a dip, it really does make a difference, like I get messages off today. I can't know. It was like I'm getting messages all the time. Like Berry Domain messaged me, and Michael from Gasp and stuff, and and you just, and it's just, it really and you can tell by the way that they word. And I tell you what, my friends, they really, because I'm stressing about my pets back home, like my cats, and I've got like 2 people going around and feeding them and looking out, spending time with them, and because I don't want to go back and all my frogs and lizards and stuff are all dead. That would just be heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean? Because I do really love my animals. I love my pets. I'm very connected to them. It's like I love animals, and it's like it's part of mine, Lauren's weird little family, but it's beautiful. It's something I really value, So, but I want to say thank you, Brian Bullman. His dad Mick, who's really looking after Lauren, and he's got a dog called Snoop, and I think he tried to get in bed with Lauren last night. I'll send you the picture. Really cute. But it's and like I said, I really appreciate the call from MD, everyone at MD, Jen, and Steve and Alan and Angela as well, and that was really like that. Really, like, came through. And it gives me that little bit of lift, and just keeps me right. Keeps me sort of positive and strong. Yeah. So I just I did a little bit of a dip today actually, and I said to Lauren, I said, look, just I'll have some food and then I'll do the thing with Ron, and I'm sure I'll be fine afterwards. And I feel great now. I feel fine, and like I said, physically I feel okay. I guess, I feel that's the main thing and I know obviously when I have the op, I'm going to be pretty incapacitated for a few days, but I can probably get through that, because at least then I know if I open my eyes, that's a win in my eyes,
Sure, 100%. You will, you're going to make it through this, and you're going to have a deeper appreciation for life that most people can't. We're not capable of fully appreciating life until it's almost been taken away from us. I truly believe that. You can see, we've all lost people. We've all lost parents and siblings and things like that. But that gives you one level of appreciation. But I think once you personally have come close to dying, I don't think you can wake up every morning and really be that thankful and appreciative that you're here. You're above ground. You can look out the window. You can talk to people. You can just do every little thing that you take a breath. Every little thing that you take for granted. Eat a meal. Everything's going to be that much more sweet, shall we say.
Two things could have happened instead. I could have had a stroke, and I could be completely disabled, or I could have died. Yeah. That could have happened. I mean, I could have not got that second chance. I could have gone to the ambulance and flatlined. It could have very easily have happened. If my heart is in such a bad state, that could have happened. Yeah. But yeah. So just.
I have to tell people your work ethic and how crazy you are. You were asking to do a New York Pro preview from your hospital bed with me a couple of days ago. This was like a day after you'd been admitted to the hospital, and I had already heard you were going to need a bypass. And this guy,
let's do it.
No, that's dedication. But I just rest, Giles. Please, just rest. Me and Jose, we got this. When you're back feeling great, we'll blast out some great content. You're coming to the Olympia this year, 100%. You're coming to the Mr. Olympia, the Olympia weekend. I don't want to just say Olympia weekend. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to work with you again. It's even more so now in light of all this. I cannot wait to see you again. I haven't seen you in real life since the 2020 Arnold. It's been over 2 years now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you back over here and doing what you do best, because you are one of the very best of this generation for bodybuilding media personalities, reporters, journalists, whatever you want to call them. You are the tiger. There's only one. So,
well,
right.
yeah. So I'm gonna call Lauren back up now so she can. There's only one remote in the whole ward. So I've actually got it. So I've managed to steal it. So
what crazy hospital is this?
I've got to say though, Irish TV is terrible.
I didn't know they had their own TV. I'm ignorant. Yeah.
Oh, also something else that hit us yesterday. We were thinking you might be billed for it.
Yeah. The what?
Because it's Southern Ireland. It's not part of the UK.
Oh my gosh.
But because I was working, they've already told me. I mean, I was really stressing yesterday. I nearly had another heart attack. My nurse Alex, he came in and he says, "Oh no," he says, because Lauren brought it up, and he says, "No," he says, "There's a reciprocal agreement. I'm assuming through Brexit or maybe after the Troubles as an appeasement or whatever. I'm guessing it's a total guess that there's a reciprocal agreement with the UK. So, say if Brian Bullman went to the UK and MC to show and had a heart attack, the Irish government would pay for his treatment and vice versa. So, could you imagine if we went home and then got like a 30 grand bill?"
Oh, I think it'd be more than that. It'd be more than that.
I mean, I already started downloading OnlyFans app, mate. I tell you, I was just starting to fill in the.
Sell pictures.
Do you know what I mean?
Your feet. People would buy that. But yeah, thank goodness. Medical bills are no joke. Yeah. Before I forget, have Lauren take a nice picture of you in the bed for the graphic for this.
Every day's a bonus.
Something like that. Whatever, We'll give us a couple options. But
you know what? I think I'm freaking them out a little bit sometimes because something's triggered this really dark sense of humor, like my sisters and stuff. I mean, on this group, they're on my dad's group chat, my stepmom and my two sisters. And obviously I'm the kind of hot topic of the day at the moment. And like, they're just like, "Giles, I can't believe you just said that." It's, I mean, I think that's just my way of kind of just sort of keeping because the thing is, I know that when people are really like Lauren's like the first night, I said, "Lauren, you've got to go back and get some sleep and get some food and make sure, because if you're not sleeping, I need you at 100% because I ain't right now." Right. So, I am very conscious of the fact that my friends and family are very worried about me. It's like, it's really overwhelming. I do really feel the love because it's a big impact on other people. Like the way it's impacted me with my dad, it's like you empathize and you really take it on. So I'm trying to also be good to them and make sure that I'm cracking jokes now. And like I said, I'm not being fake about it. I am actually feeling positive and okay, and I'm just letting people, like, I'm spending hours a day on my phone just messaging people that, like I said, everyone, my friends, my family, people I don't know, and I'm making sure that I respond to every single person, and I truly appreciate it, and it does make a difference. So thank you to everyone, and also Tarek and Tamer, what cool guys, man.
Yeah
they're cool guys. Tarek is hilarious. You ever spoke to him?
yeah I know Tarek for years.
He's so funny. We hit it off because we're at the hotel together, and he called me up to the into the pro competitor meeting, and he said, "This is Giles, and he's doing the MC. He might do some interviews with you," and we just kind of hit it off straight away. He's really got a really good sense of humor, that guy, and Tamer's really cool as well. And I really appreciate the way Tamer took charge of the situation, because he was like creating a perimeter when it happened. He's like, "Everyone, get back!" And he's left his show that's literally started. And he was really good. So like I said, paying for Lauren's hotel, I'm so grateful for that. So thank you so much to everyone. Anyway, I won't bore you anymore, mate.
Oh, no worries. Well, you need a rest, man. I know you would do interviews all day if people asked you for them. I know you would. So thank you, Giles. We are wishing you the best. I'm personally praying for you every minute of every day. This could have happened to so many of us. So many of us could be in that hospital bed like you are right now, looking at the same procedure. So, thoughts and prayers, really, really hoping everything goes perfectly for you. And, I'll be in touch, of course. I'll be thinking of you. Headed to the New York Pro with Jose tomorrow. We're going to cover the show.
Who you got for it?
Blessing.
Really? Oh, wow. 2 wins.
2 wins. I mean, I heard Clankier still can't get here. Peter Clankier.
He's here.
Where is he? Ireland?
Well, Mauro posted a picture of Andrea Presti his client from Italy, the Yamamoto guy, and Peter Clancy. And I'm assuming it was taken in New York. He looks huge. He's a freak, that guy.
Thank you. I want to see a battle. I mean, I love Blessing. I'd love to see him win again, but I want to see a battle. I'd like to see Justin Rodriguez somehow tighten up and get full again. I don't know if, I just want a great show. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. It's all New York pros never disappoints.
There's Lauren.
Oh,
Lauren? Yes. Yes. She's got I keep calling her cone face because she's got one of those stupid bloody, come in, woman.
She got a COVID mask on?
Yeah, well, it's full PPE because I think they did another flu test today. Oh, she's got to put the PPE on there, so she'll be a couple of minutes. So because there's like a cubicle you've got to come into before you can come in the room. It's like really, I tell you what, I'm very impressed with the hospital, the medical treatment. I mean, I've had incredible medical treatment over a year, mate. It's absolutely second to none. They've really looked after me really well, and I'm so appreciative of that.
Perfect. All right. Well, expect a lot of comments for you underneath there, guys. If you have any well wishes to say to Giles, you can leave them in the comments. He will read them, and he appreciates every single one. So, yeah, thank you, Giles, so much. Wishing you the very best. Really, really praying for you.
We'll be all right, mate. Turbo Tiger.
Sending a lot of positive vibes your way. So, guys, thanks for watching Ronline Report with Giles Tiger Thomas over there in Limerick, Ireland. Get well, brother. Get well. And that's it.
Cheers, mate.
See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.